Hello and welcome back. In this tutorial video, I will cover Shigeo Kageyama from Mob Psycho, the main character. Yes, the one who is so nice to the other guys and who is also diligently working hard. A perfect role model, I would say. And today I want to cover the technical aspects of the character regarding the design. And so anyone who watches this video will be able to understand the drawing, understand the anatomy of Shigeo, and also will understand how to apply the right colors. So let's get started. I have prepared some analysis on Shigeo. We see here basically the character design of Shigeo, and we will now analyze its height. So for that I have prepared some rectangular shapes, and for the height I have chosen the height of the head and copied it several times until I reached the bottom line, the feet. So we see here that we have 5 rectangles. So basically, if we have if we draw a mini Kageyama like this, we would need 5 circles of the same height, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in order to get the right anatomy. But if we have bigger circles, then we would have, this would be the height of Shigeo. So that's a reference point. So many artists, or most of them use a certain reference point, a reference value or something to compare with. And if you have found that something, then you can know, okay, if I compare it to maybe the width between the eyes, or if I compare it to the width of the head, then it's like this and that. So basically 5 heads tall is Shigeo Kageyama. Then regarding the width, for that I have chosen the width of his face, not of his head overall, because then I needed to also consider the hair. So if we have a look on this, we see, okay, the head is this wide, and then we have the same width on the left and right, and we see that we are basically with the shoulders in the middle. And here the shoulder is reaching the middle, maybe 3/4, 1/4, maybe 1/3. Maybe 1/3 of this rectangular. However, as we have this side look of Shigeo, the arm reaches the end point of this rectangular. So basically, if we have our head, then we know, okay, it will be if we copy that, okay, maybe that's okay, then we know, okay, it will be this wide, its shoulder. So that's another point. And a good reference point is also, if we look at its feet, this pose, we see that it never reaches the boundary of the rectangular, so it never excels. That's a good point when we want to draw. And maybe this pose here, however, in other poses that would look differently, because if you stretch your feet or legs and move forward, run, and then it wouldn't apply to that situations. So that much for the width. And now we also analyze the head. We have here the face with his forehead. Maybe the forehead would be here. However, the visible part of the face is this wide, or maybe on the left side this wide, and the hair would like cover nearly the same height, maybe but a bit smaller. So this would be like the right references. If we have like a face, then we know, okay, we need to apply somewhat this height in order to get Shigeo. So if we have like this, like something like that, then here it's mouth, here are his eyes, something like this. So that much for the technical part of Shigeo. I will also show you some references in a few seconds, but maybe we can also have a look at its face or chin, because Shigeo's chin isn't like that one with edges, but it's more round, so it has a curve to it, and when we draw we need to consider that. And but the perspectives also have an impact, because as you can see on this, in this one, we have here these edges, because we look from the upper down on Shigeo, so the anime studio chose to like add this edges. They could have also gone with round shapes, I would say, like this, like this. Yeah, that was a choice from the anime studio. And concerning the clothes, it's a basic school uniform, nothing special. We have like this kind of shoes, and yeah, and we can also analyze the eyes, because the eyes have this shape here, somewhat. We have some edges on the left and right, but not that hard. And yeah, the pupil, I hope it's correct and pronounced, it's like a dot. The design is simple, yet I like him so much. So that much for the technical part. Now we will see some references. Here we have a close-up shot from Shigeo. He's smiling, and he has this like shimmering eyes. That's basically done with a dot, and then applying a smaller white dot, and because it gives the feeling that the light hits his eyes, and the light is reflected on this part here. And the nose is quite simple, a simple line, and this stroke here, very basic. And the mouth is quite small, and however the outer line of its mouth is really thick here. We will have a look if it's applied homogeneously. Right, we can have a look at that. Okay, here we have something different. A child, Shigeo. Here he is like looking upwards towards the sky, thinking about his problems. any teenager has. And this one, oh. Okay, we see that the lines aren't that big here. So I would say that based on sceneries or based on situations, the line gets thicker, and here it's just normal compared to the eyes. Maybe it's thinner. It's definitely thinner. Here the eyes are more in the foreground, I would say, because they're so big and the mouth is so small. Let's have another look. Here we typically see that the chin is like really smooth, curvy, and this look in his face is just so typical from him. We can now have a look at the shadow, because that's also a kind of characteristic which needs to be addressed. In Mob Psycho, mostly on the faces we see shadows. Yes, faces do have shadows. However, the contrast isn't that big, so there is a transition from the highlighted areas to the shadow area. So basically here what is applied is they used this soft brush here in order to get that feeling. Maybe if I use it with a greater diameter and apply the red color, as you can see on the edges we have like also color, which is a characteristic, as you can see here. Whereas if you would choose like this brush here and applied it, we would be having like a hard contrast. Maybe using the first brush here can give you, yes, a better understanding. As you can see on the edges, we see that there is some transitioning, you see, and that's how the shadow on the faces are applied. If we have a look at the clothes, for instance, there we see a clear line. So basically here what the anime studio does is it marks this area, this shadow area, and then uses this selection tool, selects this area. Okay, now that was a bad example, because we need to reach or close this line here so that the selection can't escape this area. What's happening here? It's not quite there what I wanted to show. I must be missing something. Let's go back. I think that you have also spotted. It's this one here. No, the selection can't escape this area. So let's give it another try. So we have this, and now we have the selection tool. We apply this area, and then we go with the shadow. And there's this hard edge, as you can see. Yes, we have covered the eyes, we have covered the clothes, the hair. We can also have a look at the hair, because that's what Mob is. Mob is this hair. Mob represents this hair style. Yes. So what's so special about it? Maybe here, yes, we can see it here. Here we have Sensei Regen, who's talking, or maybe he hit the children, I don't know. And Shigeo just observes the situation. Nevertheless, so we have here this special shape of Shigeo's hair. So besides the ears, we have like this hair, and we then move upwards towards the forehead, and the forehead is completely covered with his hair, and then we go up, and then we have this curve here, and then we have some hard edges, and we have like a highlight which comes from the sky light. It's highlighted the top area, and this whole part is covered in dark colors. From a three-dimensional point of view, that this transition is just too harsh. This doesn't make any sense, because the light rays would hit also this part here and this part. However, since we deal here with anime, you can just simplify real world scenarios and stick by what looks better. So that is why also Son Goku looks, in my opinion, the best in his style from the 90s, with his black hair and no highlights at all. Yeah, that's a design question, and I prefer it this way. I like it this way. So, okay. So that's it for the analysis. And now let's get to the drawing. So let's get started with the Shigeo drawing. As I brush, we select the soft brush here and decrease the flow, and then we can just start with a square, which is the head of the character. Then we need it just 5 times. Remember the technical aspects. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the overall height, and this will be its head. Maybe we can go bigger as we proceed. We can then adjust our drawing. So we will see. So we can act, or we can operate like the following. We can just draw this simple shape, this rectangular, which represents the upper body, and then we have the legs, which we can also represent as a rectangular. So it is kind of a Minecraft character. Then as for the pose, we will go with like this. The character is facing towards the camera and waving towards us. So this will be like its arm. Okay. So as you can see, that's a basic shape. The character is waving towards us, and then we can add more detail. We could maybe for instance go with the simpler tasks, like the legs. We have it here. So, and then it's feet. shoes, we can keep the design of the shoes because it's like perfectly drawn, and it's also suitable for our pose. So something like this, and this foot is facing towards the camera. So here, perfect. Then okay. So its trousers can like reach this point here, and then we have its school uniform, its jacket, maybe like this, and here, okay, like this. We have here his hand, his right hand, and here we have its left hand. So this will be a bit tricky. Maybe something like this. Then we can, okay, something like this, and this will be more like this. Yes, it's somewhat maybe not optimal. We can do it better. I think the fingers need to be a bit thicker. If we have it like this, yes. The thumb is here, and here are its fingers. Okay. So. Okay. But I think we could go a bit lower on this behalf. Yeah, something like this is great. Now we can start off with the face. Okay. We can draw the help lines for its eyes. Then we have its chin here. Then the eyes. Oh, perfect. As for the nose, we can go with a straight line, this, and its mouth is quite below the nose. Its ears start here and here. Maybe we can move the head a bit up, as we don't have any place for the neck. So we're quite close to the character. We have these knots, we can count it: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 knots. This. Okay, perfect. So we will move the head a bit up. So we can use the selection tool, then move it up. Yes, so we have enough place for the neck. Perfect. So that would be its neck here, here. Something like this. Okay, we can mirror our drawing so we can find out if we have any mistakes or optimize some parts. Okay, we have here its jacket. Perfect. And its shirt. We shouldn't forget the shirt. Okay. That's quite good. We can add more detail to its shoe. Nice. Okay, let's examine just a bit the face, if we can do it better. Okay. Its chin is also round, which is a characteristic of Shigeo. Okay. Something like this. Nice. Okay. I have the feeling that the face could be a bit longer. We can achieve that again with the selection tool, so we don't need to erase our lines. Just selecting and then having a bit longer face for Shigeo. Yeah, that's quite good. We can stick with this. So we can now decrease the opacity of this layer, so we can have clean lines, redraw our drawing. However, since it's transparent somewhat, to a certain degree we see certainly the lines, and now we can have a cleaner base. This is basically done by anyone who does this professionally. A clean line art is crucial in order to work systematically. When you have a clean line art, you can make use of certain tools of your software, like the selection tool, and we will also make use of that. I will show it to you. So here, when coloring, it's important to color only. For instance, you select only specific parts of your drawing, like its clothes or hand or face and so on. So if you have a clean line art, then it gets so much better, you're so faster when you draw and color your art, and that's how you can optimize it, because you just use the selection tool to select a specific area, and then you apply the color. So okay, that's quite good. Maybe we could do it like this, so we get the feeling that its hand is in the front of its face and not in the back. So it's trousers and it's jacket. The knots maybe here. Yes. Try to draw loose lines, so because since we have a jacket and somewhat Shigeo has a fragile shape, we can go very loose, and so that his characteristic, or that specific characteristic, also shines through, reaches you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. So I'm trying to avoid hard edges, so it's somewhat always like very loose, and you have these roundy shapes everywhere. That's also in Studio Ghibli, they also use these kind of lines, so it overall affects like how you perceive the characters. Okay, these lines here. Okay, that's nice. Now the shoes. And I need to look at the reference again. Okay, something like this. Yes. I think that this leg here can be longer, or should be at this position here. Yes. So okay, nice. Okay, we are quite there. Maybe strengthening these lines here, making a bit thicker. Yes, these lines here. Perfect. Okay, I think we are done. That's the base. Now we can, maybe we can just add here some knots, since it's on the side. Yeah, perfect. Maybe a bit like this. Okay, now we are finished with our base, or the line art. Now we can apply the colors, and that we will now do. It slipped maybe. Yes, perfect. Okay. Okay, so we add another layer for its color. And now we can make use of the selection tool or the color picker for selecting the colors. So we have here our reference. We can now use the color picker. Okay, we have the color picker. We make use of this magic tool here, which is the magic wand tool. We can use it. Then we can go to our layer. Let's say that's our line art or line base. And then we select, for instance, we can go at first with its jacket. Okay, its jacket, we can press Ctrl Shift, and then we can add also this one here, this area. And let's use the bucket tool. Bucket. Pick the color and go to the right layer, which we call color. Nice. Mostly the selection isn't that optimal. We can modify it by expanding just by 1 pixel and then reapply it again. Okay, so then the same goes for its trousers. Shift this area. Nice. Then expand the selection, modify, expand by 1 pixel, go to the bucket tool, color, apply it. Nice. So much for that. And then we can work on its face, its neck, its hand, its ear. No, that was too much. I think the line isn't that good connected in this case. Here, yeah, it's better. And here. What was that? I pressed it too long. Button. Okay, now bucket tool. Select its skin color. Apply it. Perfect. And now I'm aware that we need to move the line layer up so it sits on top of the color. So the line art needs to be visible at any time. Okay, so that means when for instance we have this like white lines here, we can just pick the pencil, our brush, increase the size, increase the flow. We pick this color here and we apply it. You see? We see the line since it sits on top of this current layer, on top of the color layer, and now we just optimize it. Perfect. Like this. Nice, that's good. This side here, yeah. Okay, that's good. We can also make the yellow knots here. So we can go by the hair now. We can just pick the color and apply it. We could also use the selection tool. Maybe in this case it'd be better. Select this area and then just apply the color. Okay, so much faster. Then deselect the area and decrease the brush size. Then optimize it. Correct any mistakes. We shouldn't forget the ears, like this, and then we have the shirt, which is here. It's white. We can maybe add a bit of gray later on. Okay, and again, since our background is white, we don't see this one. Maybe we can change the background to another color for now, like this. Perfect. Now maybe we should add gray. Okay, so we can see also the line art. Now we can paint, color the eyes. Here. The mouth would be somewhat dark red, which is not that saturated. We have here a missing finger. Perfect. We see the line art. Don't forget its shirt here, here, here. And now the shoes. Let's see at a reference. Okay, it's only gray. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna layer where we apply the shadows and the highlights. For that we just use again the same brush and we can apply on another layer the shadows, and on a different layer the highlights, so we can distinguish it and reorganize or restructure it as we wish. So on this line we add here the shadows. Not to forget, we can now use the masking. Where do we have that gradient map? No. This one here. Yes. So we can do now the following. We can, that wasn't quite what I imagined. Yes, okay, that's our shadow. We will go to the layer and go then to create clipping mask. Yes, now if we paint, we won't cross like the boundaries which is set in the layer below. So when I paint this area and move it to the right side, you see that we do not exceed the area which is marked by the color base. Okay, we can now apply our shadow at this position here. Then here a bit, on the side, then on the trousers. Then maybe a bit here on its shoulder. Imagining that the light hits from above. We can add it here and here a bit, and then here a bit, then here. There's basically no boundaries, so do as you see fit, and shadows enhance the three-dimensional perception, so add shadows. Then we can move on the skin, and as I explained earlier, we will use the soft brush to apply the shadow on this area here. That was a bit much. And okay, then we could have here some shadows, then here, okay, that's good. And here we could have also shadows. Okay. Then we will move again to this brush here. Then we will add here the highlight. Like this. Basically like in our reference. Okay. I think that the head could be somewhat a bit thinner, because it's like too roundy for my taste. Now at this stage, since we applied already the color, it would be a bit cumbersome. We could add that as a final step and reduce the layers to just a single one, and then select and refine it. Now we could maybe change the line, the color of the line art, because if we look closely at our reference picture, we see that this is green, so dark green. We could go also like that. However, not in all areas, because here the shoes are in black. However, here his school uniform is in green, and his face again, so only this school uniform. So we could select our line art and then choose this brush with this green here and apply it. Nice. Okay. I've just seen that its shoes have also some shadow, so add that. Let's add that. Okay. We could go darker also in this area here. Okay. Now let's try to fix its head. We could create just this area here. Now we have reduced everything to just one layer. We could select its head with the selection tool, with this lasso tool. Okay, let's give it a try. Yes, that's better. It was too roundy. Now, since we reduced everything, we need to operate on this layer here. It's not the optimal solution. However, since we want to show you just how you can operate and work, I will stick with the simplified solution here. Maybe deleting this area. Yes. Yes. that could reach also this area. This is better. Okay, fine. And one last thing would be like comparing the line art. We see that here it's basically dark, black and not gray. So maybe this final step here, where we just make our line art black, would be the final touch. Okay, this is good. That's better. However, there's some issue. Okay, here. This hand. We could just enhance like the shape of his head a bit, tilted to the side somewhat. And then the mouth we can just have a straight line. Yes. Big smile on his face. Yes. And you see the hairline is just above its eyes, so here I would like to have it's a black. So we are finally done. Maybe just a very last step where we just okay, here we optimize the line out. So voila, we are finished now. This was as I'm saying that I'm finished, I'm reapplying some colors. You can always do better, I think. So this is not quite, this is not fully white. Then just, why not? Yes, here. Here's some shadows. And here. Okay, at this stage I won't make any changes, so we're finished. So to sum it up, when we started with this analysis, we first of all had a look at its overall height and its width. Then we had also a look on how the colors are applied in case of Shigeo Kageyama, and there we said, okay, for the face, like a soft transition exists between shadow and ambient or highlight, and that's basically done by using the soft brush. And regarding the line art, I think it speaks for itself. They're like round edges. It's really curvy, and sometimes, or in certain perspectives, there you can see also some hard edges. However, I think it's really simple, not the drawing, however the style is really simple, and that adds to the overall impact of the anime, because the feelings that I conveyed or how the characters interact with each other, it's just beyond it's beyond good. So I'm a big fan of this anime series, and I hope you enjoyed this drawing as much as I did, and see you the next time. Thank you.